Oop, recording, hang on. Okay, so NCATS's mission is to turn biomedical research discoveries into health solutions, including diagnostics, treatments, and interventions through the application of translational science. Rather than targeting a particular disease area or area of fundamental science, NCATS is disease agnostic and focuses on what is common across diseases and the translational process. The center conducts and supports research on both the scientific and operational aspects of translation to lead to more predictive and successful development of new interventions. For all human diseases, translational science is the field that generates innovations that overcome long-standing challenges along the translational research spectrum. These include not only scientific, but operational, financial, and administrative innovations that transform the way that research is done, making it faster, more efficient, and more impactful. So the translational science spectrum, illustrated on the graphic on the left, shows the stages of translational research. The stages do not happen in a straight line or in one direction. Each stage builds upon and informs the others. At all stages, our staff and grantees come up with a new approach, proving their usefulness and sharing their findings. Patient involvement is a key feature of all stages in translation. The NCATS translational science principles, shown here on the right, also build upon scholarship, identifying core competencies for translational science. This includes the core competencies in clinical and translational research produced by the CTSA Education Core Competency Working Group, and the characteristics of a translational scientist produced by Translation Together, and can be found in the article below, cited below. We see the NCATS translational principles as a work in progress that will continue to be refined to reflect the community's growing expertise in translational science. As we continue to refine these principles over the next decade and forward, NCATS goals for the coming years are quite literally audacious. These goals are more treatments to all people more quickly. But what does that even mean? Right now, only 5% of diseases have a treatment. And one audacious goal is to get that number up so that 25% of known diseases have a treatment in the pipeline in the coming decade. Second, all people. All aspects of the biomedical research enterprise, including everything from training and career development to clinical trials and implementation, should reflect the diversity of our country so that everyone can benefit from the results. NCATS is developing programs and initiatives to tackle health disparities in all areas we support, while also building an organizational structure that supports diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. The Clinical and Translational Science Award Program institutions, which have long prioritized engaging communities in the research process, are leading the way with strategies that increase participation among underrepresented and vulnerable groups in clinical research. And lastly, more quickly, today it takes 10 to 15 years for a drug to make it to market. NCATS' goal is to enable diagnostics and therapeutics to reach people twice as fast. Tools that harness real-world data, such as the National COVID Cohort Collaborative, or N3C, are already helping us quickly explore and test critical clinical research questions. So how are we planning to achieve such audacious goals? Well, that was the question we asked when we set about developing the new NCATS strategic plan. The strategic planning process began in November of 2022, shortly after Dr. Joni Rutter was selected as the new NCATS director. The NCATS strategic planning team held 2 public roundtables with communities supporting the CTSA program, as well as those supporting the Rare Disease Clinical Research Network, in addition to all NCATS offices, divisions, and leadership groups. We also received significant written input via email and through a public request for information. And if you'd like to know any more about this QR code on the bottom right will take you to the NCATS strategic planning website, or you can just Google it, which is what I do. The draft plan will undergo council review in May prior to its finalization and subsequent release, hopefully sometime, hopefully end of summer 2024, early fall, we'll see. So The NCATS strategic plan for 2024 to 2029 will guide the center in working toward the vision of more treatments for all people more quickly and towards achieving our audacious goals in meaningful and achievable ways to move the field of translational science forward. Briefly, the NCATS draft strategic goals are: first, apply approaches to foster the identification of, development of, and access to more treatments. NCATS applies strategies, techniques, and technologies to address unmet needs. We look for commonalities across diseases and develop platforms with multiple uses. Bringing more treatments also means applying translational science to identify and address the potential for disease across demographics, as well as identifying ways to ensure interventions are available to those that need them. Second, enable all people to contribute to and benefit from translational science. People are at the center of our translational research efforts. They are instrumental in identifying and addressing biomedical needs and opportunities. NCATS needs to develop collaborations and partnerships with a diverse set of stakeholders to enable translation to happen more effectively and efficiently. We strive to incorporate diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, as well as belonging, into all aspects of our work and our workforce. Third, accelerate translation by addressing both scientific and operational challenges. Innovation, creativity, and technology can aid and accelerate translational science and research efforts, including identification of new opportunities to pursue. Teamwork and collaboration need to be recognized and supported as a critical aspect of effective and efficient translation. Draft Goal 4 is to advance research operations that cut across translational science. These priorities span the different elements of the vision and cut across all parts of the mission of NCATS. And lastly, work together as stewards for advancing translational science. Stewardship is a value that supports responsible planning and management of resources. NCATS applies stewardship for both operational and scientific activities and efforts in order to responsibly use funds, resources, and people towards support of translational science. As I mentioned earlier, the Clinical and Translational Science Award Program institutions have long led the charge in advancing the strategic vision of NCATS, and I will have no doubt will play a vital role in helping NCATS achieve its lofty goals of more treatments for all people more quickly. The CTSA program resides within the Division of Clinical Innovation, as Tim mentioned, which aims to foster the development of novel processes, sharing of best practices, collaboration, and harmonization of research approaches at local, regional, and national levels. Additionally, DCI works to disseminate expertise, tools, training, and clinical research innovations in support of a diverse translational science workforce. Under NCATS and DCI leadership, the Clinical and Translational Science Awards, or CTSA program, supports a national network of over 60 medical institutions, along with their partners and collaborators who share a common vision of improving human health by transforming clinical and translational science. The CTSA program is one of the largest funded programs here at the NIH, with more than $550 million invested annually by NCATS. These research centers serve as hubs to locally and regionally affiliated institutions, expanding the reach and effectiveness of the network while tackling system-wide problems in clinical and translational research that no single team can overcome. Having an established collaborative structure in place to enhance operational and scientific efficiency, as well as safety, has been critical to launching clinical studies quickly during the COVID-19 pandemic and the opioid crisis. So the ultimate goals of the CTSA program are to develop, demonstrate, and disseminate innovations that turn science into medicine faster, with innovations that improve the efficiency and effectiveness of clinical translation, from identification to first-in-human studies, to medical practice implementation, and to community health, as well as to promote impactful partnerships and collaborations. The program hubs have long prioritized engaging communities in the research process, as I mentioned before, and are trusted community partners and are charged with developing and disseminating community engagement tools and resources while working to educate researchers and communities. The CTSA program addresses health disparities by creating, providing, and disseminating innovative research programs and partnerships to address health disparities and deliver the benefits of translational science to all. The CTSA is strongly committed to addressing health disparities among underserved communities in clinical research, including but not limited to women, minorities, and rural populations. The program provides a national resource, as I mentioned before, for the rapid response to urgent public health needs. They promote training and career support for developing the next generation of translational scientists, which is a priority area for NCATS. The CTSA program provides a variety of training opportunities for clinicians at all career levels. The program seeks to conduct high-quality, multi-site clinical trials faster and more cost-efficiently through a provision of services, and by helping investigators develop robust recruitment and retention plans. Some of the most valuable assets our hubs have are data, but their potential can only be realized when they are used and shared more comprehensively and with the help of various informatics tools and approaches. The CTSA program has had wide-ranging impacts from nationwide initiatives to community-focused programs. One major initiative many of you may know about and that I mentioned before is the National COVID Cohort Collaborative, or N3C. N3C has delivered interoperability across electronic health record systems nationwide to provide real-world answers to urgent public health COVID-19 questions. Additionally, the CTSA program institutions helped carry out large, rigorous clinical trials to rapidly test the most promising COVID-19 treatments and vaccines on a national level. These trials have offered evidence-based results on potential treatments, such as convalescent plasma, immune modulators, and ivermectin. The hubs have played an integral part in the Pain Management Effectiveness Research Network, which is part of the NIH HEAL initiative. The program hubs and the NCATS Trial Innovation Network support clinical trials that compare the effectiveness of existing non-addictive pain therapies and test existing or novel approaches for pain prevention and management. And another wildly successful and impactful initiative that originated from the CTSA program is, of course, the SMART IRB program. SMART IRB design cuts the time from study submission to clinical trial from months to weeks, while ensuring appropriate oversight and protections for research subjects. Currently, more than 1,000 medical research sites use the SMART IRB platform. And these are just a very small sampling of the many successes that have emerged from this program. And there's no telling what incredible advances will originate from this consortium in the next decade. That is, if Congress ever gets us a budget. So with that, I would like to thank you all for having me. If there are any questions, feel free to email me or you can always reach out.